y equals mx plus b. This is what you need in order to graph the equation of a line. And if you look at what you've been given on number 20, you have been given y minus 3 is equal to 1/3 times x minus 3. That is not y by itself. You have to equation solve, and you all are good at this. You have to equation solve to get y by itself. That's 3 over 1. So you're going to say y minus 3 distribute 1/3 x minus 3 over 3 is 1. Then you're going to add 3. Now we've got this in slope-intercept form. What is my slope? 1/3. What is my y-intercept in ordered pair form? 0, 2. So now in order to graph this, you are going to need to plot your y-intercept. Now how do we plot 0, 2? We go up to on the y-axis. We do not plot those on the x-axis. So we're going to go up to 2, and then from here, what do? Rise 1 and run 3. Rise 1 and run 3. And did I want you to do this several times? Yes, because we're going to need that on our transformation unit. Any other questions? Kayla, which one? Okay, 23 was similar in the fact that, I think I'll continue on this page, it was not in the form that we needed. 23 said y plus 1 is equal to negative 2/3 times x plus 4. So this is a nasty one. So we're going to say y plus 1 is equal to negative 2/3 x. That's 4 over 1, and that's going to be minus 8/3. Kayla, do you want to eliminate denominators or just subtract 1? Okay, so how do we eliminate denominators? Right, we're going to multiply everything, and those 3's are gone, by 3. So you'll have 3y plus 3 is equal to negative 2x minus 8. All right, now we're going to solve for y. How are you going to do that? And so my 8 is going to become a negative 11, and then what do? So you have negative 2/3 x minus 11/3. So this is the sad part, is that it's not a very pretty number. 3 goes into 11 2 times. So your y-intercept is going to be 0, negative 3 and 2/3. So we're going to look at how we're going to use that point and a slope of negative 2/3. All right, if this were Carnegie, that's probably all we would be coping with, because Carnegie just has you graph nasty stuff all the time. All right, so we're going to go down 3, 1, 2, 3, and approximately 2/3 more. Now, when I do my slope and I go down 1, 2, I went down, so now I'm going to run 1, 2, 3. Notice I'm still at the 2/3 mark. I can't go anymore, so now I'm going to rise 2. If I rise 2, how do I run? To the left, 1, 2, 3. So I'm going to rise 2 and run 1, 2, 3. So there's my line. I went down 2 and ran 3. Where do you mean 6? This is 1, 2, 3, and 2/3. You mean this point? That point is negative 3 and 2/3. Any other questions? Yes. (43) 43 is a great problem, and it's a good problem because this is going to be what the EOC looks like. So this tests your understanding in a new level. So you've got this skateboard ramp, okay? And what they've shown you is they've shown you that this is 24 and this is 72. Do you agree there's a slope on that line? Okay, what is slope graphically? Not algebraically. Rise over run. What's the rise on that ramp? 24. What's the run? Oh, look at that. We translated the slope of this line using its rise and its run. So when you take 8 into 24, you get 3. 8 into 72 goes 7, 9. Just kidding. So that reduces to this slope is 1/3. Now they want you, the maximum slope has 4/11ths. We've got 1/3. How do we compare those? This has to be smaller than that. How do we know? To compare two fractions, what do you need? Common denominator, which is 33. What do we multiply 11 by? So we must multiply 4 by 3. So that's 12. What do we multiply 3 by? 11. We multiply the top by 11. So I have 11 over 33. All right. This is the maximum. Are we within that maximum? Yes. So is that an acceptable ramp? Yes. All right. So I'm going to start teaching. If I have time at the end, we'll go back over any more questions. Today we are going to put together writing equations of lines and your parallel and perpendicular. So I think before I go any further, I want to review parallel and perpendicular because we got to remember how to do those. And we did those yesterday. Do you have, MJ, will you record? All right, do you all have your major geometric term spreadsheet? Okay, get it out. If you have not downloaded it, it is mandatory now. Your spreadsheet, the major geometry terms. Okay, get it out because we're going to add to it. So on your major geometry terms, there is not the word perpendicular line. So in one of those blank boxes, you're going to put perpendicular lines. And then another box, you're going to put parallel lines. Remember I said we're going to add to this? Okay, in the middle box, what's perpendicular lines? They are lines that what? Form what? Where they form? Right. What? Angles. Perpendicular lines are lines that form right angles. Okay, we're going to get there. This is just their definition. So perpendicular lines are lines that form right angles. So you can either put this in the middle box or on the third box. But what do you know about slope of perpendicular lines? They're what? Opposite what? Reciprocals. This is huge. Okay? You need to know this. You need to know this for this test. You need to know this for the next test. You're going to need to know this on your polygon unit, which is unit 7. Okay? Slope, opposite reciprocals. You must know. You need to know this for the next test. All right, what are parallel lines? They are coplanar lines that do not what? Touch. But what's really big about these parallel lines? Slopes are what? Yeah, they're the same or they are equal. All right, you should be looking at this spreadsheet every single night. You've got to put all of this into long-term memory. All right, so if I have a slope of 5/4, what is the parallel slope? 5/4. And then what would my perpendicular slope be, Kayla? Excellent. Okay, That's what we need for today, along with writing equations of lines. So you're going to get more practice on writing equations of lines. I do not know if I have posted your test objectives for this Unit 2. Did anybody look? All right. So this is where we're headed. We're out of here. Oh, you know on your foldable, you see where you see parallel and perpendicular lines? All right, open up your foldable. This is the only flap we haven't filled in, correct? These are the only ones. So on the outside, we're going to put this to remind us that this is the notation for parallel, right? And you're going to put this because that's the notation for perpendicular. So there are two foldables you are going to bond with over the weekend, today, tomorrow, and Monday, and it's this foldable and your corresponding and parallel line one. On the inside flap, what do you think we're going to write? This is the inside flap. Parallel lines have what? What do we know about parallel lines? What is really important that we wrote on our sheet, Travis? No, we're looking for slopes. What do we know about their slopes? You should have just written it on your notes. Parallel lines have? No, it's not on there yet. They're coplanar lines that do not touch, but what else? Yes, have equal slopes. Okay, then we've got perpendicular lines. And what we got to remember about the perpendicular lines have what, Caitlin? Talk to me about slope. Not perpendicular. You should have just written it. You wrote it yesterday also. There you go. Opposite, reciprocal slopes. Okay? Got to know those. So this foldable is complete. You found slopes over here. Some of those probably should be perpendicular and some of those probably should be parallel. But right now what we're going to do is we are going to determine how do I figure out if these lines are parallel, perpendicular, or neither? What form do these have to be in? Kayla? Slope-intercept form. So in order to put the first one in slope-intercept form, what am I going to have to do, Leslie? Right. So what do you do first? You're going to subtract what? Just 3x. So we subtract the 3x. The goal is to get y by itself. The next thing we're going to do is what, Amanda? Amanda's not here. Samantha. We want y by itself. What do you do next? Divide by our -2. All right, heads up. I will never accept negative divided by a negative. You must simplify that. What is that? positive 3 halves x minus 5 halves. All right, we need to get the other one in the same form, slope-intercept form. What's the first step, Devin? You're going to, this one. You can subtract 6x. We have minus 6x plus 4. We still, y is not by itself, so to get y by itself, you're going to do what, Jeff? Divide everything by negative 4, which gives you y equals, that's going to be 6 over 4 positive x minus 1. Now, are you going to leave 6/4 as 6/4? No, you must simplify your fractions. Brittany? This is y equals 3 over 2x minus 1. Now, to compare, to determine whether they're parallel, perpendicular, or neither, Sydney, what is the slope of this line? 3 over 2. All right, so you have to identify that slope. I need the slope of my other line, and that goes to Caitlin. What's the slope of this line? 3 over 2. If the two slopes are both 3 over 2, are these lines parallel, perpendicular, or neither, Hope? Parallel. All right, I'm just letting you know this is a test question. Okay, you have to be able to do this. This is a test question. 8, 10, 16, 17 is also a test question, which means you need your slope formula. Okay, so this is what we want to focus on. We are going to write the equation of a line parallel or perpendicular to a given line through a given point. What two things do you need to write the equation of a line? Slope and point. Okay, what do we already have? We already have a point. Read the question. Write the equation of the line what? Parallel to this equation. So the first thing is I need to know this slope. Find the slope of the line whose equation is given. I have given you step-by-step instructions on how to do this. You have to put those to memory. Bree, how do I take this to find slope? What do I do first? Excellent. So you're going to have minus 4y is equal to negative 3x plus 5. All right, I've subtracted the 4x. And now from here, what are we going to do, McKenna? Yes, so we're going to divide by negative 4. Negative 4. So y is equal to, what's a negative divided by a negative? Leslie? So that's going to be 3/4 x minus 5/4. Now, once you get this equation, I want you to take a dark pen or something. I'll get a really dark one. Where's my pretty ones? There. And I want you to eliminate. I want you to totally eliminate from your sight that y-intercept. It is not usable. Okay? It's gone. Don't think about it. What we need from this equation, we need to know this slope. What is the slope of this line? And that's going to go to Brittany. It is 3/4. Now, you read the problem. You will either find the parallel or the perpendicular slope, depending on what was requested. What was requested? Parallel. So this is what I like to do. Parallel slope is. So if the slope of this line is 3/4, my parallel slope will be what? McKenna? Yes. So we have a slope, now a parallel slope of 3/4. We have our ordered pair of 3, -1, and now we're going to use the parallel or perpendicular slope and the given point right there, and we're going to write the equation of the line. So I've got to take Amanda's name out. Eric, what are we going to do? What form do you like to use to write the equation of a line? Okay, so if you're going to choose y equals mx plus b, where do you put things? right? Keep talking. How do you use your point? Negative 1 goes into y. And? Is 3b? It's x, exactly. If it helps you, put an x on top, put a y on top. Under no circumstances is b negative 1. You will lose a slew of points if you just throw negative 1 in there. So you're going to say negative 1 is equal to 3/4 times 3 plus b. All right, this is over 1. So we're going to have negative 1 equals 9/4 plus b. We need to solve for b, and we're going to let this next person tell us how we're going to proceed. Kayla, what do you want to do? We're going to subtract 9/4. So the question is, when I subtract 9/4 to subtract fractions, I need a common denominator. That is negative 1 over 1. What is my common denominator? Carlin? Right. If you multiply the bottom by 4, you must multiply the top by 4, so that should be negative. Okay. What's negative 4? And we're adding a negative 9/4. Over. Okay. So the equation of your parallel line, we're adding the opposite. I like to think of adding the opposite. The equation of your line is going to be y equals 3/4 x minus 13/4. That's the parallel line. Notice the y-intercept is different than that y-intercept, which was negative 5, I don't know. I can tell you in a minute. Was negative 5/4. Notice they are different. That is why you can't throw that use that y-intercept. So you know how to write the equation of a line given slope and given a point. That is old. Okay? It's not new today. The only new piece today is that we are asking you to write the equation of a line parallel or perpendicular. So to find the slope, you're going to have to find the slope and then either use it if it's parallel or turn it upside down and take the opposite if it is perpendicular, which brings us to our next example. Now we're going to write the equation of a line that is perpendicular to this line and that passes through this point. All right. So I need a point, which I have, and I need slope. Kayla, where do I begin to find my slope? We're going to take this equation, we're going to put it into y equals, so we will subtract 2x, so I'll have negative 3y equals negative 2x plus 4. So I'm closer, but I'm not quite there. So now I need to do what, Jennifer? We're going to divide by negative 3, okay, because we want a positive y, and we're going to divide everybody. So now y equals negative divided by negative is positive, and this looks like plus negative 4/3. Do I need to worry about negative 4/3? No, we don't look at that. Okay, we're going to only look at the number next to x. What is the slope of this line, Devin? It is 2/3. All right. What we want for our equation is we want the perpendicular slope. So if that slope is 2/3, what is my perpendicular slope, Bree? What does your foldable say for perpendicular lines? Okay, so it'll be negative. Opposite. There you go. You got to turn it upside down. So we're going to use this slope, and we're going to use this point, and we're going to write the equation of the line. At this point in time, basically, what we did over here is no longer needed. We only needed what was underneath here to find the slope of 2/3 to give me that slope. So to write the equation of the line, how do you want to begin? This goes to Devin. Okay, so we're going to do y minus y1. So it's going to be y minus is equal to times, and it's minus a minus 2, correct. All right, so from here, let's put it in slope-intercept form. Maybe we'll put this one in standard form. We're going to go for standard. What am I going to have to do next, Bree? I can, but all that stuff in parentheses, I really can't add it to because of that. We can't subtract 2 because okay, y minus 1 equals negative. Right? So negative 3/2 times 2 over 1 is what? What's 3 times 2? Right, and 6 over 2 is? Right, and that's going to be a negative, right? All right, so now that we're that far, now what can we do? Nick? Uh-huh. So how are you going to do that? So how do you get rid of that? 1. This is when we can add 1, Bree. Okay? Got to get rid of the parentheses. So, oh, wait a minute. We were going to go for standard form. So let's keep doing this. Negative 3/2 x minus 2. All right. So I think I have to get rid of my shade in order to be able to extend. There we go. So now I'm going to make this bigger. So now if I want standard form, what do we have to do? Brittany? So now we have to move this by adding 3/2 x plus y equals negative 2. We are so close, but standard form is the attractive form. It wants nothing to do with fractions. We're going to multiply everything by 2. So that's going to simplify, and we'll have 3x plus 2y equals negative 4. That's the line that is perpendicular to the one we were given that passes through that special point in standard form. So if I don't tell you a form, Eric, we're in math. Thank you. If I don't tell you a form, then you can do slope-intercept. Otherwise, you need to do the form I've requested. Any questions? All right, these notes will be online. Did you want to go over any questions on the homework? Yes, if I ask for standard, that has to be the answer. If I ask for slope-intercept, the green's the answer. Yes. Yes. If you'll just pass it to the center. MJ, I need to know,